早上好 ，Welcome to Gestamp.
早上好，
周总你好，欢迎来到
幸会。
And again, is the mindset of the Chinese to quickly adapt and change and also find opportunities.
这是我们的一个叫健全的一个材料实验室，能够覆盖我们Gestamp对于整个这个工程材料上面的一个测试的一个需求。所在的这个2层楼主要是我们的车政团队，然后3层的话是我们的底盘团队。
Thank you to accept the interview from Gas School. At the very first beginning, can you give us a brief introduction about the Gestamp?
Thank you and welcome to Gestamp. Well, we are a multinational company, just focus on the design, development and manufacture of highly engineered products for the automotive industry. We are focused mainly on body-in-white, chassis and mechanisms. And our company has a global footprint in 24 countries with over 100 facilities worldwide and over 40,000 employees. Our main focus is on lightweight and safety for the car in order to improve not only the safety for the passengers but also to decrease the carbon footprint.
Yeah, very important player in the supply chain.
Well, we think we are, and I think that's an important role we play, and that's why we take it so seriously, because we understand that we play an important role in order to make automotive industry more sustainable and also bring more value to the overall customers.
Just as we talked, that we see the COVID-19 pandemic, shortage of the chip supply, and also increased pricing of raw materials. On your point of view, what kind of influence these issues will take or already have influenced the automotive, especially supply chain part?
Well, that really brings quite a lot of pressure in the supply chain. There is not so much certainty on the planning, especially for production and for buying the materials. You need to control your inventories in a way that you can always satisfy your customer needs, while at the same time you incur into more costs because of that. So it's not just only raw material increase and the chip shortage, which obviously brings quite a lot of disruptions, because from one day to the other or from one week to other, you cannot produce, or because there is a stoppage at the line from your customer. Along with that, there is also quite a lot of issues with the logistics in terms of the sea freights, where also the costs have been increased a lot, and whenever there is some imports from overseas, which is less and less nowadays, but still it's having a big effect.
We also see that people are focused more on the achieving of the carbon neutrality. Any preparation for Gestamp prepared for this field?
Well, we actually have already taken many steps towards that within our group, not just globally but also in China. For us, this is one of the most important things that we have to achieve as an industry and also as a company. We have been working on this for quite some time now, and this is one of our main goals. From a company perspective, we have just been listed in the Standard & Poor's Sustainability Index book for 2021. of which only 8 automotive suppliers are in the list, and only 6 OEMs are in the list. Oh. So we are proud to say that we are, within a very small number of companies that are taking this very seriously. Hopefully, we can see more and more players, coming and enhancing that. In China, we have already developed many solar projects within our facilities, rooftop solar projects. So we are trying to become more and more carbon neutral.
Can you share with some case about the low carbon solutions you supply to your customers?
Well, to that respect, we are focused on lightweight. So lightweight has a clear effect on the overall emissions reduction in the industry, because by lowering the weight of the car requires less energy to move, and therefore reduces the overall consumption. So that's part of the natural cycle where we are involved. So it's not just only about the products that we deliver, which actually has a big impact in the reduction of the carbon footprint, but also how we also deploy this in the manufacturing process to ensure that we also reduce that footprint by improving the efficiency in our plants, reducing our own energy consumption, and also treating waste materials in a proper way.
Just regarding the lightweight reducing technology, any kind of R&D resources you've been focused on, and what's the trend for the vehicles lightweight reducing field?
Well, I would say that most of our R&D activities are focused on lightweight. This is our major strength, lightweight. So by using different technologies on hot stamping, with our latest technologies in hot stamping, where we have developed new generation hot stamping on the multi-step, which brings even a further enhancement on achieving further weight reductions, but also using different materials in order to keep always trying to reduce the weight.
We are experiencing the mega trend of the electrification in automotive industry. So we see lots of new technology are keep emerging all the time. It brings a lot of change, either on the definition of the vehicle, the function, all the structures, and all the benefits to customers. For those structure parts, like the car body or chassis, any change for that?
Well, there are quite a lot of changes that we see. Some of the changes are sometimes driven by trends rather than maybe just pure technical and cost benefits. Because at the end of the day, we need to sell cars, and our customers need to sell cars, and they do have to enhance certain characteristics to attract the customer. It is true that not always the solution that the industry is choosing may be the most efficient, but in any case, I think this brings quite a lot of opportunities for improving the overall situation of the industry, further development and growth. And this also brings quite a lot of opportunities for many players.
Yeah. We just talked that there are many new players in the EV vehicles. So it's not like we used to see that the vehicle has a large volume on the market. Now they are very focused on the niche market, a small segment, but they can produce very good productions. So does that have any new requirements for the supply chain players to adjust to this situation?
It does have quite a lot of impact on the supply chain. In terms of the number of programs we need to launch have been multiplied, and that puts quite a lot of pressure in terms of resource management in order for us to launch new programs, and also from a economical perspective, it's more costly, and at the same time, when that goes into production, economies of scale are reduced as well. There is more changeover in dies, in setup, and so it does have a negative effect on that side.
Yeah, and how you to adjust your team to cooperate with those players?
Well, you have to become more efficient, more flexible. So you need to make a lot of effort in trying to find new ways, to approach the way the industry used to operate in the past. So before it was probably a little bit more stagnant, and now you have to find actually new ways to be able to compensate the extra cost by adding other features to ensure we can still be profitable.
With the increase of the EV, the market increase rapidly, more and more people will focus some parts we used to ignore. For example, the battery box. Can you share some experience on that?
Well, the battery box is actually one of the products where Gestamp is very much involved. We understand that this is a very sensitive part in the electric vehicle because it has to protect basically the heart of the car, which is the battery, and that protection is just to ensure also the safety of the passengers, which is another feature on what Gestamp is focused on. So that is complex, and it requires quite some expertise. We've been working on this change for many years now, so it's not something that it has caught us off guard, and we are providing already many solutions to our customers on that particular field.
How you expect the market trend of the China EV?
Well, I think there is no doubt that EV is taking over rapidly over internal combustion engines, and that's the trend in China, and China is leading the way for the rest of the world as well. We can see year on year how EV vehicles keep growing in terms of their market share, in terms of their own performance from the previous years, and we will see that continuously happening. All companies are focused on EV now, and there are faster companies moving into that, other ones a little bit slower, but everybody's just looking at EVs.
The Chinese local OEM, actually they are become more, more confident in the design of the new EV product by themselves. So it has influenced a lot of global companies' decisions, especially on R&D resources. We see lots of them actually increase the investment of R&D in China. What's your plan for that?
Well, we follow our customers. So whenever there is a requirement from our customers, we are going to be there to support. So along with that boom on R&D, we are also following that, and we are prepared to support it. We've been established in this location already for more than 5 years, even though we had already started our R&D activities before that. And also in Kunshan we have another R&D center. And all that is focused on trying to support locally the development of the electric vehicle, mainly.
What's the last year's performance of Gestamp?
Well, Gestamp has always been in a growth rate and expansion. During 2020 with COVID, it's been somehow affected, even though at the end of the year was not that bad as we thought it was going to be. And last year, it's been our best year since we've been in China. So,
How?
hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Hard work.
You know, and also, you know, the support from a group which is actually betting on the China market, and also because of our technologies and capabilities. Otherwise, it's difficult to keep growing and surviving in this industry, which is very fierce and competitive.
If you're looking forward for 3 years, what's your expectation?
Well, the expectation is that we will keep growing substantially in the following years. We are very well positioned in the electric vehicle. So what we have been basically investing into R&D technologies. Now it's the time to see, you know, the return on that, you know, and harvesting what we have already invested. So to that extent, we already see this year is going to be quite significantly better than last year. We are getting into new projects, new vehicles, and very exciting moment now for us.
And also the new Chinese identity since launched in January.
Yes, we have launched our China logo, which basically shows how Gestamp is evolving, you know, to be a Chinese company, you know, because basically this is already now part of our DNA. We are in China, we are working for China. Everybody working here has a China feeling. So for sure, without losing, you know, our history, we are actually becoming more and more focused on China, and that's part of the reflection on how we are evolving as a company. We are integrating more the Chinese culture into the way we operate, and that I think that's a good sign for us to keep competing in this market.
My last question, when your customer talk about the Gestamp, what kind of image you want them to think about?
Well, technological company, cost competitive, sustainable, and basically a good partner to work with.
That's the key words. And also that would be the core competitiveness of the Gestamp.
Yes.
We hope that this year you will make a more better achievements.
非常感谢。
谢谢。